All right, I'm in the new house. Welcome to the Collegiate Creature Studio. Pretty exciting stuff. This is where I'll get to stand or maybe sometimes sit when I'm gonna do some sort of long video essay. Like if I was gonna make the lizard video again, you'd be seeing this, you know, I'm excited. Thanks for being here. I missed you a lot. I missed making videos quite a bit. Don't worry, I have been making not just this video, but another one in tandem. Another one that I'm very passionate about, very excited about, but we'll get to that. So I've moved to a new city. I'm looking for a job. I'm pretty excited to continue to update you on what it's like in 2026 and beyond to be a biological student. So we're on to the post-grad chapter, the post-grad/job search chapter. I just had to move all the pets 4 hours. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. My whole channel is about both my studies and animal keeping, okay? I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but when you're in college, you should probably not get a turtle or aquariums or anything of the sort. Here's what I recommend. A cat. A cat was super easy. Speaking of cats, I actually have something to show you. Dun da da da, second cat. Second cat is here. So this is technically my girlfriend's cat, but now we live together. That's Gene, but he also goes by the name Meow.
Who are you? And why do you want to get revenge?
I am Meow.
Meow? Whoa!
And you know, a plethora of other silly little names. Phil's here too, and Phil's doing great. Meow is a street cat. He was born just a block or two away from my old house on my college campus. I thought, you know what? We're moving away. Phil won't have Larry anymore. And so now here we are. We had to get a second cat. Perfect timing. Now Gene has joined the family. But now I want to update you on all the rest of the critters. So you saw me setting up a 15-gallon aquarium to kind of be the holdover space for all the fish that were in the 30-gallon. I've still got the entire school of cardinal tetras. We got one Stephodon goby in there. I think it's a neon blue goby.
Hello there.
We have 4 panda cories and a couple of Amano shrimp left in there. So those fish are gonna be hanging out in that tank. I know it's pretty bare bones right now. It's actually gonna stay that way until I get their next home up and running again, whatever that may be. You know, I really needed to think of what I was gonna do for Tot because I did not wanna move that 50-gallon tank she was in at all. I'm gonna be honest with you, it was gross. It was a gross tank and I did not set that up with cleanliness in mind, I guess. I wasn't thinking far into the future when I set up her tank. So my whole philosophy now in the new place is that I'm not starting any projects. I'm not doing anything without a full timeline in mind. I had to get rid of a good handful of tanks that weren't being used yet. A gecko tank, the 20-gallon long that we raised tadpoles in. I had to get rid of those because I didn't plan out how to move them very well. This is what I'm saying, like, maybe a cat. Terrariums are one thing if you have a snake or a gecko or something like that. It's a much lighter, you know, ordeal you gotta move. The aquariums, oh my God, there's so much draining of the water and the tanks are heavy and the animals they have a time limit, you know, that they can be in the bucket. But that's what we did. I put everybody in a bucket. Tot, bucket. Fish, bucket. Frogs, bucket. And Phil, bucket. Just kidding. Not actually. And I got him here. What you saw there at the beginning of the video was us getting here and immediately setting up tanks. So we actually had to take 2 trips back down to Cincinnati, which is a lot of driving. So my final rule, I think, would be make sure your significant other or roommates really know what they're getting themselves into when they start hanging out with you. And then do whatever you want with the aquariums, whatever, just plan better. So with that in mind, I bought a 110-gallon stock tank for Tot to spend the next several years of her life in. One day, I would love for Tot's forever home to be a pond in my backyard. But we're years away from that. I mean, it's 2026, I'm 23. I'm thinking I probably got 30 or 40 years till I can afford to buy a house. So I bought this stock tank and I bought a new filter. I got new bulbs. We got a nice little lamp stand in for Tot. Got the lights on a timer like we used to. Then I decided, you know what? It was taking Tot a minute to kind of come out of her shell. So I went to the store just the other day and we got some guppies, some feeder guppies. There are about 30 in there now. And honestly, it actually might be 40 already. A couple of them must have been pregnant in the bag because there are at least 8 fry that I'm already seeing. There are at least 8 tiny little guppies in there. So that's pretty cool. I'm hoping that just kind of continues to replenish itself. But the tank that you're seeing now, the layout that it's got, it's not really gonna change. I'm not putting sand or gravel in this tank because that's what I learned. I think I don't want to keep turtles really, especially a big one like tot on substrate. One day I might get a smaller species of turtle that can stay in an aquarium its whole life, and I'll probably do a more natural setup for that one day if I ever do. But with tot, I just want to have a nice system with nice filtration, getting all of her gunk and keeping the water clear. That's all I ask for now. So the circular stock tank and the nice filter help make sure that the water keeps running around, which is nice. Now Tot had a rough week or so. It kind of took me a minute to gather all the elements for her tub. Again, I should have been better prepared. I should have moved here with a heater and a new filter and new bulbs. Red-eared sliders are very hardy. I'm not advocating that you keep your red-eared slider in subpar conditions just because they can survive it. I'm just saying that she was all right. But you might have noticed in those clips, I feel so bad. She was really freaked out for the first several days. So anytime I would come in the room, she would just like dive in the water as fast as she could. And I think she scraped her noggin there on one of the rocks I put in the water for her to bask on. So I'm keeping an eye on that. We might have to medicate the water or something if I notice it start looking strange, but she seems to be in good spirits regardless. So now brings me to the frogs, my friends. Or should I say frog? Yeah, so we are down to one surviving gray tree frog. And it's the one that has always looked the healthiest to me, at least. So I'm optimistic about him. Just a couple days ago, I came down to the office and the second to last frog had passed away. And he was, I was getting worried about him a few weeks ago, but I was just giving them some flies every day. And he was gaining some mass back, I thought. He just kind of went out the same way that some of his brothers did. They just kind of stopped eating. And again, this is something we've dealt with several times on this channel already. Baby amphibians are probably the most fickle, sensitive animals I could possibly keep in this hobby. Like the newts and now the tadpoles / tree frogs. I've outlined over and over how sensitive amphibians are. When they get sick or when they stop eating, it's so fast. It's so fast the way that they go. I'm bummed about it, of course. I'm pretty bummed, but I still got one. And I think that means it's time to name him. But I think I just decided right now, I think his name should be Nemo, actually, right? Like, let me know in the comments, everybody. Run down to the comments. If you're enjoying this video, run down to the comments and let me know. The very next order of business is upgrading Lemon / Nemo's tank. Again, let me know down in the comments what you think his name should be. I want to put him in a more permanent setup for now. Not quite what I'm envisioning down at the end of the road for this frog, but something bioactive. I want soil and bugs and a drainage layer and live plants and all that. So I'm gonna get to work on that probably in the next month or two. I have a really good idea for the 15 gallon. So eventually I'm gonna set up one tank, probably the 30 gallon from, the old videos that all my fish came out of. We're probably gonna set that back up because it's really nutrient dense, the substrate in there. So I just wanna get some plants growing in there and I wanna put those fish in there. I might refine the whole South American theme of that tank and when I rescape it. So I am excited for that. Meaning I'll get some other South American fish probably other than the tetras and cories. So frog tank, 30 gallon rescape. That leaves the 15 gallon empty. Now that tank is really sentimental to me. It's like probably my first aquarium. I got that way back in the day. The goal was to put spring peepers in it at first. I had a magical time catching a bunch of spring peepers one day and my dad was like, yo, idea. We never caught any peepers for the tank after that, but it's actually the tank that my childhood firebelly newts lived in, which, famously also didn't go that well. But then after that, for like 15 years or so, or the better half of 15 years, it was a little community tank in my bedroom, just all sorts of tetras and barbs and stuff coming in and out of there. There was a monster pleco that got too big that lived in there back in the day. I had some tetras that lived like 10 plus years, kind of wild. Really fun. A lot of memories in that tank. I've rescaped it once. I made it a molly tank for a little while and that was fun. I have a really great idea for it. Something that I've never seen someone do. And I went to an aquarium store here in my new town and saw the fish that I want for this tank. And so now I'm actually pretty confident that I am gonna put this in motion. There's a little hint somewhere in this video about what it could be. It's kind of a sentimental idea as well. So I'll tell you more about that later. And then in the distant, or not so distant, semi-distant future, I have a really big project. I have a really large project that I am excited about, biggest one yet. So we'll probably get into that later this year, perhaps in the fall or winter. Can't tell you much yet, but let's just say that there's a big fish tank somewhere in this house that's waiting for the right idea. So thank you for being here. Thanks for coming. Thank you to those of you who have subscribed recently, even though there haven't been any videos. I have another video that's in the works. It has been for months. I've just been kind of slowly gathering footage for it. And now that I'm here, I can't gather the footage for it anymore. It's time to just take what I got and make it the best that I can. It's a video I'm very passionate about, and it is about the Cincinnati parks and kind of just getting outside, learning about nature in your area in general. I cannot wait to get to that. I can't promise when that'll be out, but I'm working on it right now. So thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already, you can look up Collegiate Creature Keeper on Instagram. And you can follow me there. Keep an eye out for, shorts and reels and teases for all kinds of stuff going on YouTube Shorts or on Instagram. If you're not subscribed, please just hit the button. We want to get to 200 subscribers here soon. I never ended up doing my 100 subscriber special. I had this whole bit planned. The 100 subscriber special was going to be my Minecraft world tour, but then I kind of just stopped playing Minecraft for a minute. So we'll get around to that someday, maybe 250, maybe 200, maybe 1,000. I don't know. Blow this video up, but I'll pick a number. So, but I would love to do something fun like that every time I hit a milestone. Something just totally nothing to do with animals. With that being said, I've been the Collegiate Creature Keeper. I missed ya, and I'll see you soon. Deuces.